Hi everyone, I'm Helen from Susan's family. Today I'm bringing you the Chasing Waves top long sleeve version from Retro Nostalgia series. It's made up of the front body, back body, sleeves, connections and collar edge. First, crochet the front and back bodies and sleeves separately. Then join the bodies of the front and back after they're done. Then connect the corresponding shoulder areas. Next, attach the sleeves. Finally, pick up the neckline and crochet the collar edge. Let's start with the front body. It's divided into 3 sections. First, crochet section 1. First, crochet section 1. After completing it, cast on again to crochet section 2. Then join the 2 sections together and continue crocheting section 3. First, crochet section 1. Start with a foundation chain. Then work back and forth along the foundation chain. During this process, extend both sides. The stitches used include chain stitches, single crochets, half double crochets, treble crochets and slip stitches. Now watch me demonstrate the specific crocheting method. Here we actually use variegated yarn for crocheting. Since the starting color segments of this yarn vary, the finished effect will also differ slightly. You can refer to the finished product for reference, or choose your preferred starting color segment. For easier viewing, I'm using cotton yarn in this demonstration. The colors are random. For specific yarn, color schemes and hook sizes, please check the detail page of our product and the paper instructions. First, make a foundation chain. Hold the yarn with your left hand. Pick up the crochet hook with your right hand. Make a slip knot with the yarn. The slip knot does not count as one stitch. Gently tighten it. Follow the chart to crochet the corresponding number of chain stitches. After completing, make one beginning chain to start. Next, insert the hook into the second chain from the right. Note that the loop on the hook is not included. Count 1 to the left. 2. Pick up the top loop of this chain. 1 strand above. Work 1 slip stitch. Continue to pick up 1 strand on the top of the adjacent chain. Work 12 slip stitches evenly. Pay attention not to make the slip stitches too tight. Keep the fabric flat after completing. Finish with 5 chain stitches as a transition. Skip 3 chain spaces below without working. Pick up 1 strand at the next chain. Work 1 single crochet. Then work 5 chain stitches as a transition. Skip 3 chains without working. Pick up the next chain and work 1 single crochet. Then work 3 slip stitches evenly. At this point, the foundation chains are completed, and the first row is done. Proceed to crochet the second row, chain 4 to start this round. These 4 chains count as 1 treble crochet. Then turn the fabric. Pick up the braid from the edge slip stitch below. Work 1 treble crochet. When crocheting on the wrong side of the previous row, the braid is located at the top left. Yarn over the hook twice. Insert the hook. Yarn over and pull through. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat 3 times. Once. Twice. 3 times. Complete the treble crochet. Continue to pick up the braid of the adjacent slip stitch. Work 3 treble crochets. One. 2. 3. Pick up the left chain space and work. Make 1 single crochet in the space. Chain 5 for transition. Next chain space. Work 1 single crochet. Chain 5 for transition. Skip down 2 slip stitch positions on the left. Pick up the next slip stitch braid. Work 1 single crochet. Chain 5 for transition. Continue skipping 3 slip stitch positions to the left. Pick up the next slip stitch braid. Work 1 single crochet. Continue picking up slip stitch braids afterward. Correspondingly make 2 single crochets. Three half double crochets. Finally work 1 single crochet. Need to extend downward. Continue crocheting 18 chain stitches. After completion, row 2 is done. Next crochet row 3. Continue with the previous yarn tail. Make 1 beginning chain to start. Then move left from the second chain position. Pick up the top loop of the chains. Work into each stitch in sequence 11 slip stitches. Afterward crochet 5 chain stitches for transition. Below skip 3 chains to the left. Slip stitch into the next position and work 1 single crochet. Next skip 2 chain positions. Pick up the stitch and work 1 treble crochet. Then crochet 1 chain for transition. Move down to insert the hook into the stitches from the previous row. Pick up the stitches respectively. Work into each stitch in sequence 6 treble crochets. Between each treble crochet, crochet 1 chain for transition. When crocheting on the wrong side of the previous row, the stitches are located at the top left. After completing, there is one single crochet position left below. Skip this one without crocheting. Pick up the chain space to the left. Work one single crochet. 5 chains. Continue with one single crochet in the adjacent chain space. 5 chains. Work one single crochet in the next chain space. Starting from the treble crochet position afterward. Pick up the stitches respectively. Correspondingly make 4 treble crochets. Chain 1 as transition between each stitch. After completing, continue with one chain. Then pick up the adjacent position. This is where the beginning chain was on the previous row. Pick up 2 strands of the 4th chain. If you can't find the exact position, you can also insert the hook into the chain space on the left side adjacent. This is the 4th chain position of the beginning chain. Pick up 2 strands and work 1 treble crochet. Chain 1. Continue with 1 treble crochet in the same position. Now row 3 is complete. Crochet row 4 downward. Make 4 chains as beginning chain. Turn over. Pick up the stitch of the treble crochet on the edge downward. Work 1 treble crochet. Then chain 2 as space afterward. Pick up the stitch of the treble crochet downward respectively. Correspondingly make treble crochet, chain 2 between each stitch. Skip single crochet positions. Pick up chain spaces downward. Work 1 single crochet. Then chain 5. Make 1 single crochet in the next space. Continue to pick up the stitch of the treble crochet. Correspondingly make treble crochet, 2 chains as transition between them. Skip single crochet positions. Pick up chain spaces. Work 1 single crochet. Chain 5. Skip 2 slip stitch positions to the left. Pick up the next slip stitch braid. Work 1 single crochet. Skip 1 slip stitch position downward. Pick up the next slip stitch braid. Work 1/2 double crochet. Chain 2 spaces. Skip 1 slip stitch position downward. Pick up and work 1 double crochet. Chain 2. Continue skipping 1 slip stitch position. Pick up and work 1 treble crochet. Chain 2. Then skip 1 slip stitch position. Down to the edge slip stitch. Correspondingly make 1 treble crochet. The 4th row is now complete. Next, crocheting the 5th row, make 3 beginning chains. Turn the fabric. Then pick up the left chain space. Work 3 double crochets. Downward pick up the left treble crochet stitch. Work 1 single crochet. Continue picking up chain spaces afterward. Work 3 double crochets. Then pick up the stitch of the double crochet. Work 1 single crochet. Crochet 5 double crochets in the next hole. Next pick up on the left side. The 5 chain space. Work 1 single crochet. Then pick up the chain spaces between the treble crochets. Work the corresponding number of double crochets. Pick up stitches at the treble crochet position to work single crochets. When encountering the large space of 5 chains, work 1 single crochet correspondingly. Continue crocheting downward following the chart. Complete this single crochet, down to the beginning chain position. Pick up the 2 strands of the 4th chain. Work 3 double crochets. This completes the 5th round. Here you need to fasten off the yarn. Before fastening off, let's first check the dimensions. Measure the height of rows 1-5 according to the chart. Correspond to the chart. If the dimensions differ significantly, it's recommended to adjust your tension, or switch to a different hook size and recrochet. Continue crocheting section 2. The method is similar to section 1. Start by making a beginning chain. Work the corresponding number of chains. I've already completed the starting chain here. Make 1 chain as the beginning chain. Then refer to the chart to complete row 1. The remaining chains after completion don't need to be crocheted. Continue crocheting row 2. Make 1 chain as the beginning chain. Turn, then refer to the chart to complete row 2. After completion, continue following the chart to crochet row 3. Complete the last stitch. At this point, the starting chains have also been completed. Rows 4-5 that follow. Pick up the previous row and work back and forth. No new stitch techniques or methods are used. Just follow the chart to crochet. When finishing and crocheting into the turning chain of the previous row, always insert the hook into the top 2 strands of the turning chain. Complete these 2 rows. After completion, crochet row 6. This row needs to be joined with section 1. First make 3 chains as the beginning chain. Then chain 2 as a transition. Turn. Work corresponding single crochets following the chart below. Chain the corresponding amount between single crochets. Continue until reaching the edge single crochet position. The edge single crochet is worked into the turning chain position of the previous row. Insert the hook into the top 2 strands of the beginning chain. Or insert the hook into the gap between the beginning chain and the adjacent double crochet. Then chain the corresponding amount. Then pick up section 1. Pick up the end of row position of the last row. Here are 2 fabric pieces. The texture of the 5th row is identical. Pick up the stitch of the edge double crochet. Work 1 single crochet. Then continue to pick up corresponding positions on section 1 to work single crochets and chains. Finally, pick up the third chain of the beginning chain. Work 1 double crochet. At this point, the 6th row is done. Here section 1 and section 2 are joined together. Take a look, everyone. Don't twist the chain positions. The textures of the first 5 rows of the 2 fabric pieces correspond. At this point, section 2 is completed. Don't cut the yarn. Move on to section 3 next. Crochet section 3 downward, following the positions of the first 2 sections. Work back and forth. First, continue with the previous yarn tail. Chain 1 to begin. Turn. Pick up the edge stitches and work 1 single crochet. Continue crocheting according to the chart. When encountering chain positions during this process, skip down 3 chains. Pick up 1 strand of the next chain. Work 1/2 double crochet. Continue with 5 chains. Skip 3 chain spaces. Pick up the next stitch and work 1 single crochet. 5 chains. Then skip 3 chains. After that, work the corresponding number of slip stitches. The remaining side should be crocheted symmetrically to this side. Refer to the chart to complete the remaining part. The last single crochet can be worked into the chain space, or into the beginning chain position. I'm working it into the space here. Once completed, row 1 is done. For row 2, continue crocheting according to the chart. When you encounter a slip stitch position, insert the hook into the V-shaped loop. The remaining rows don't use any new stitch techniques or methods. Just follow the chart to crochet. In the last row, some positions need to be left unworked. Pay attention to the correct positions while crocheting. If you need to join yarn during this process, you can tie a knot to join the yarn. I'll demonstrate this method using a swatch here. Pick up the new yarn. Note that since the actual project uses variegated yarn, when joining yarn, you can choose a segment with a similar color. I'm still using cotton yarn for demonstration here. Leave a long yarn tail for the new yarn near the fabric. Tie a knot with the previous yarn tail. Then continue crocheting downward. The yarn tail will be handled later. This is the method for joining yarn. After the row, you'll need to fasten off and weave in ends. After completing the last row, you'll need to fasten off and weave in ends. Here I'll demonstrate the method using a swatch. First, leave a bit of tail and fasten off yarn. Weave the yarn tail to the wrong side of the fabric. Here, the right side of the last row is considered the right side of the entire piece, which is the side with neat stitch texture. You can weave in a few more stitches. The remaining yarn tails can be handled the same way. Simply weave them into the wrong side of the fabric. Complete this part on your own. Now we finished explaining the front body crochet. Next, crochet the back body. The method is similar to the front body, but here we don't need to divide sections. Start by chaining the corresponding number of stitches. Then work back and forth on one side for the first 2 rows. The ending of row 2 needs to extend further. Row 3 is worked to a partial position on the other side of the starting chain. Then row 4 is worked by picking up stitches from row 3 area. Row 5 is worked all the way to the end of the starting chain. The remaining rows are worked back and forth above row 5. The methods and stitch techniques used have been demonstrated before. Please refer directly to the chart for crocheting. Finish by cutting the yarn and weaving in the ends. Similarly, the side with neat stitch texture on the last row is the right side of the piece. Now we finished explaining the back body crochet. Next, crochet the sleeves. There are 2 in total. Both are started with a chain cast on. Then work back and forth along the starting chain. Here, row 1 completes the entire starting chain area. The remaining rows are worked evenly by picking up the previous row. No new stitch techniques or methods are used. Please refer to the chart to complete the crocheting. Similarly, the front side of the last row is the right side of the whole piece. Now we've finished explaining the sleeve crochet. The crocheting is completed. Proceed to the next step, joining. Divide into body joining, shoulder joining and sleeve attaching. The joining method is the same, only the insertion point varies slightly. First, perform shoulder joining. Here, I'm demonstrating with a small swatch. Place the wrong sides of the front and back bodies together, with right sides facing outward. I place the front body in front, and the back body behind. Then find one shoulder. Starting from the edge, work slip stitches and chains to join inward. First attach yarn to the edge of the front side. Pick up approximately the right position on the edge. There's no specific requirement for the insertion point here. You can pick the other side of the chain, or pick the chain space, or the stitch insertion point. As long as the positions roughly correspond, I'm just placing it randomly on my swatch. Make a slip knot with the yarn. Place it on the crochet hook. Pull through. Adjust slightly. Then make one beginning chain to start. Next, pick up the back body edge. Note, insert from the front side. Pick up approximately corresponding position. Work one slip stitch. Then work one chain interval. Go back to the front body, and pick up approximately corresponding position on the left side. Crochet slip stitch. Then make one chain stitch. Pick up approximately corresponding position on the back body. Also insert from the front side. Then crochet slip stitch. After completing, make one chain interval. Afterwards, always pick up approximately corresponding positions on front and back bodies. Work slip stitch. One chain interval between slip stitches. The chart indicates approximate stitch count and position here. You can use it as reference. Stitch count and position can also be adjusted according to actual situation. Just make sure the fabric lies flat after joining. Continue connecting downward. Complete the last slip stitch position on the chart. Cut the yarn. Hide the yarn tail inside the fabric. At this point, this shoulder side is connected. After connecting here, the patterns on both sides roughly correspond, and the fabric lies flat. Downward, follow the same method to complete the other side. At this point, the shoulder connection is explained. Next, proceed with body connection. The method is similar to shoulder connection. Still use slip stitches and chains to connect front and back bodies with wrong sides together. Then connect upward from the last row. First attach yarn to one edge. Then chain one. Pick up a slip stitch on the other side. Then pick up slip stitches on both sides alternately, with one chain space between them. Note that slip stitches are worked on the right side. The connection position is not fixed. Roughly corresponding is fine. Pay attention that the patterns on both sides should match, and the fabric remains flat after connecting. Continue connecting until reaching the position marked on the chart. That is, the connection endpoint. Complete the last slip stitch. Cut the yarn and weave in ends. Complete it by yourself. Now the body connection is explained. Next, attach the sleeves. First connect the beginning and ending of the sleeve. Then connect the starting side to the armhole position of front and back bodies. To reduce breaking yarn, you can start from the last row of the sleeve, with the right side facing out. Then pick up the edge side to join yarn. Then correspondingly make slip stitches on both sides. Chain one between them. Continue until the side edge of the first row. Then connect the starting side to the armhole. To make the connection position more even, you can secure several points with yarn. Here I demonstrate the method. First cut a long yarn tail. Then match the final connection point of the sleeve with the bodice stopping position. Pick up roughly corresponding positions. Draw the yarn through. Then tie a knot to secure. After that, fold the sleeve in half and center it. Match with the shoulder connection position. Secure it with yarn as well. Then find several points on both sides to secure. The connection position here isn't fixed, as long as the fabric is flat and neat after connecting. Pay attention to avoid large gaps under the arm. Complete it on your own. Now the sleeve attachment demonstration is done. Crochet the collar edge downward. Crochet one round along the neckline. I'll demonstrate using this swatch. Start from the shoulder connection point on one side. I begin crocheting from the front body here. Insert the hook into adjacent spaces or chain holes to join yarn. There are no specific requirements here. Just pick approximately corresponding positions. Make one beginning chain to start. Downward, pick chain holes or gaps along the edge. Insert the hook and work the corresponding number of single crochets. When encountering the starting chain position, pick up the other 2 strands of the chain, or insert into the chain space underneath. Then make a single crochet. Continue crocheting until just before the shoulder connection point on the other side. If you haven't woven in the ends yet, you can weave them in as you crochet. My swatch stitch count and positions are arbitrary. Please refer to the chart for specifics. When reaching the corresponding position, you need to work single crochet decreases downward. First, pick the gap to the left. Work an incomplete single crochet. Insert, yarn over and pull through. This is an incomplete single crochet. Next, skip the joining position. Pick the gap on the left side of the fabric. Work an incomplete single crochet. There are 3 loops on the hook now. Yarn over and draw through all loops in once. Complete the single crochet decrease. Then continue to work the corresponding number of single crochets according to the chart. Keep crocheting until before the joining position on the other shoulder. When reaching the corresponding position, here, work a single crochet decrease. Similarly, pick the gap at both ends of the connection. Work an incomplete single crochet. Finally, yarn over and draw through all loops on the hook in once. Complete the single crochet decrease. Now, take a look at the fabric. Check if it's flat after crocheting. If it's not quite flat, you can adjust the number of stitches according to the actual situation. Adding or reducing a few stitches is fine. As long as the fabric ends up flat, that's fine. Finally, work a slip stitch into the first stitch to join. The vertical braid on the left side here is the beginning chain. Skip the horizontal braid on its left side. Is the stitch of the first single crochet. Pick up the stitch and work 1 slip stitch. Cut the yarn after completing. Hide the yarn tail to the wrong side of the fabric. That concludes the explanation for crocheting the collar edge. Up to this point, the entire making process of this garment has been fully explained. If you have any unclear parts during the crocheting process, don't hesitate to join our Facebook group to get supports. Susan's Family, supporting your handwork experience, sharing the joy of life. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode.